Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And, of course, good morning, mini motorways. Let's go to Wellington for today's daily challenge, where all destinations will be circles and motorways will require road tiles. I missed you too, mini motorways. Oh, God. All right, we're here. It's Wednesday. We're doing a stream. I don't know. We're playing video games, I guess. Well, depending on your definitions, multiple video games. We're playing 4 video games today. How about that? Fishingworth was here first. Good morning, Fishingworth. I guess we'll run the yellows up this way. It's fine. Here, you go up like so, and around and down in this manner. We'll cut that corner. Boop, boop. And then we bring the blues to boop, just like so. Fishingworth asks, have you played the anime horse girl game? No. There's an anime horse girl game? Is this a game about anime girls who are also horse girls? Is this a game about turning anime girls into horse girls? Is this a game about horses who are anime girls? I don't know. I don't know what anybody's talking about. Oh, we'll take a roundabout. Oh, God. All right, well, it's a good thing we've got a tunnel because we need to use one. We've got these red houses here. They shall come in this manner. We won't even have to bulldoze a tree. How lovely is that? The anime horse girl game is apparently called Uma Musumi. Yeah, we're going to go with that. It's called Uma Musumi. The anime girls are horses that you train and race. Oh, that sounds like a thinly veiled fetish thing. Honestly, as a thinly veiled fetish thing is in fact the title of the episode. Maybe, I don't know. I'm probably not in trouble if I just say that the title of the episode is a thinly veiled fetish thing. It's me. Hi. Never mind. All right. Oh, God, my back hurts. I'm tired, dude. I'm tired. So my work, which, as you know, is rather nebulous in nature, hours determined by the needs of the client and the day's particular assignments, and you never quite know what you're doing on any given day, that sort of thing. One of the nice things about my work is that there are times when you work less than 40 hours in a week, significantly less in fact, and yet they still pay us for 40 hours of work every week, which is nice and good. However, because of that, and because they adhere to the 40-hour work week, and hold on. These yellows will come down this way and we'll bulldoze those. Nope, sorry about that tree. We'll just snake in like so. Yeah, that sounds feasible, I guess. We could actually, hold on, I have an idea. I have an idea that's going to result in everything being fine, but in the meantime, it's going to bork everything. And by everything, I mostly just mean these yellows and reds. Yeah, let's do these yellows and reds together here. We're going to run them off in this manner. Boop, boop. Okay. We're going to have yellows do that, and then these yellows here will come in this manner. All right, I know what I'm doing. I have a reasonable plan of operation for the future of my life. It's not always destroying the trees, Fishingworth. It's just whenever it becomes more convenient than not to destroy the trees is when we destroy the trees. All right? I am the Goog axe. I chop for the trees. No, wait. That doesn't quite make sense now, does it? All right. You go through here. This yellow swings up this way. Okay. Now we don't have such yellow bullshit to deal with. Our roads are shorter. We have more road tiles. Everything's actually fine. Plus, we can send this blue house down this way into this business. Everything's actually fine. Ow. Just punched the microphone. Probably sounded fine. Wait, no, that's the Discord mute. Y'all just heard me snort. Oops. So one of the things a capitalist Lorax where the hero is in favor of destroying the earth for profit. That's how the American consumer reads the book, The Lorax. I don't know, man. Shit's bad. Now speaking of shit being bad, if we don't get a tunnel this week, shit might be bad, because we've got these blues here, and this blue here, and, well, I'm not saying they definitely need to be friends or nothing, but it's probably a good thing that these can be friends or something. Yeah. Alright, so we can do that. And then these grays are rather horrendously positioned, it must be stated. You come down in this manner. We'll bulldoze yet another tree. Sorry about that tree. Alright, It's kind of a problem that we can only get 2 of these grays together, even somewhat natural-like. That's not great. These 2 blues being here for this business is not really optimal either. I do have a roundabout, but I don't really see a great position for that. We can swipe these 3 yellows to here and restructure this road in this manner to get these 4 over this way. That'll save me a tunnel. And then having successfully saved a tunnel, take another bridge. Bulldoze yet another tree. Sorry about that tree. Alright, 1 house for a circle is bad. That's what they taught me in road school. Alright, let's do this. We're going to reposition this blue road. Yeah, we'll do this. We'll reposition this blue road and also this beige road coming along this way. Yeah. Okay. I have an idea now. Yeah, it's all fine and dandy if you apologize. If you express genuine remorse, even if the remorse isn't actually genuine, you just expressed it, it's fine. All is forgiven immediately. Have you truly sinned at all? Get this over here, run that. Now these 2 beiges will swing down here, probably fail to support this business, but what, I ask, if we give them a stupid motorway? We give them a stupid motorway, they get another house on the road. Another house on the road means they come down here, they go over here, they support this business, everything's fine and dandy. Speaking of things that are actually neither fine nor dandy, these 3 yellow houses are kinda sorta supposed to be supporting this yellow business. Man, this is real awkward here with this yellow. Alright, here's what we'll do. We're gonna run all of these yellows together here. I think the answer, actually, is a roundabout. Then again, I always think the answer is a roundabout, and it rarely, if ever, actually is, yet we're gonna try it. You come down here, you come over to there. Okay. So now we're functionally putting 5 yellow houses into a roundabout, which are then splitting up to support 2 yellow businesses. Is that better for anyone? No. No, it's not. It's quite bad, in fact. But, you know, it is looking like a disaster. I'm not going to lie. You're not wrong. You're very correct in surmising that this is looking like a fucking disaster. We'll take a motorway. Okay. Oh, God. All right. Well, I was going to pull all of these greens over to this business and have these greens tunnel themselves through here to get over to this business, which would have been fine. However, now we have this, so instead we can do that. So the 2 of you, wait, no, the 3 of you can come over here, service that. Hey, Beigeness, are you going to be okay? Because you're looking kind of dying. You sort of just need to be okay, buddy. Like, I don't have any way of delivering more beiges to you that doesn't involve explosions and death. Well, that's one way to make sure that I get out of here on time to shower and get dressed and hit Burger King for breakfast and still be in Hartford, Connecticut at 9 o'clock this morning. So 633 trips over 44 days is bad. It's bottom 50% in the world. It is significantly worse than our good friend Samurai Sam. We'll drop those Samurai Slams in the chat and bring in... Where did that button go? There did that button go. Here is the Wordle. So one of the things my work does is it makes us send just little heads-up emails to our supervisors on those occasions when, rather than running short, the work runs long, and you think you might go over 40 hours in a week, because overtime is a thing. And they don't want to pay overtime if they don't have to, and they also don't want to burn people out. So, like, if one dude's going to work 50 hours in a week and another dude's going to work 20 hours in a week, they'd rather split those up so that the two individuals work 35 hours in the week. This all makes sense, right? Well, last night, after I had finished my work for the day, I looked at my timesheet and I decided that I should send my supervisor a heads-up email because it was Tuesday and I had already worked 28 hours this week. Which is true. It is now 6:41 on Wednesday morning, and I, your friend the _Goog, have been on the clock for 28 hours this week. It doesn't technically mean 28 of the last 48 because I worked like 45 minutes on Sunday doing paperwork and stuff, but still. The Wordle, I think, could be think. It's not, but it could have been. And we know that there's an I and a K in there, which is nice. So on Monday, I was in New Haven, Connecticut. And for those who don't know, I basically live like Western Massachusetts, which is the only place I could live to make this even feasible. On Monday, I was in New Haven, Connecticut. Yesterday, I was in Waterbury, Vermont. And if you've never heard of Waterbury, Vermont, which I frankly don't fucking blame you, I want you to picture just like Vermont. Imagine Vermont is a ruler, right? And the high numbers are north. I was at about 10.5 inches of Vermont. Yeah, that's a good way of measuring tall states like Vermont. I was at 10.5 inches of Vermont yesterday. After the day before, again, being in Waterbury, Connecticut. Not Waterbury, Connecticut. That would have been easier. New Haven, Connecticut, which is south. What could this word be? It can't be skink because that would have the I in the middle and an N. So it's probably not that. It's also not kinky because there's no N here. Unfortunate. Might have been another thinly veiled fetish thing after all. It could be, can't be kismet. That's a 6-letter word. Contains a T. So, it could be... No, it can't be skein, because there's an N in that. It can't be skate, because that has a T and no I. It can't be brick, because that ends with a K. Fishingworth learned today that there is a long-time, well-connected game studio called Stormfront Studios, which... yeah, I mean... Did they exist before the Nazi website existed? Did the Nazi website take that? I don't know if the name Stormfront meant Nazis before the Nazi website Stormfront. It is like... It's a decent name for a thing. Like, Stormfront is a cool thing to think of. It's part of the reason why the Nazis took it for their Nazi website. It's conceivable to me that they just didn't do any research and or they're like foreign or something. Oh, it was a thing in the 80s. Oh, okay. All right. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that I know every single anti-Semitic dog whistle and term in the history of the world or nothing. I'm willing to believe that the Stormfront Nazi website was the thing that made Stormfront a Nazi term, and therefore the Stormfront studios that existed in the 1980s can be like, all right, you folks are like, we can reasonably assume that you probably weren't Nazis. Video game developers is a whole thing, but we can reasonably assume that you probably weren't overt Nazis in the 1980s. This is the kind of thing that passes for generosity here at twitch.tv/the_Goog. We're generally a pessimistic sort, but we do have a little bit of generosity. What the fuck is this word? Oh, God. It could be scoim. Now, granted, scoim isn't a word, but if you put aside that, like, honestly, mild, small thing, itty bitty issue, okay, fine. It could be Mickey. Could absolutely be Mickey. It's not, but we didn't actually learn that much, did we? Okay. Well, unfortunate. Apparently Stormfront made the very first baseball game. It was called Baseball. This is a good name. Every other title since has just been iterative nonsense. So it's not Mickey, which is a shame because that would have been so fine. Would have been so fine. It blew my mind. Hey, Mickey. It could be Koibo. Actually, it can't be Koibo because the I is the third letter in Koibo, despite the fact that Koibo is not a word. So, what is it? Amazing question, Goog. Well thought out. What if? Well, it's not wreck or anything like that. It's probably... God. It's not like kazoo, because there's no I in kazoo. It's not kazoi, because... Well, that's just, again, we're firmly into the realm of non-words there. It's not irksome, because, well, that's like a 7-letter word. Shit. It's not sicko, is it? No, because that contains a C, and the I is the second letter. And okay. I have no earthly idea what this word could be, which is developing into a major problem, given that that's sort of the aim of the video game here, is to figure out what this word is, given the restriction that it has to be a 5-letter word, and then the information about what letters are in it. Yeah. All right. Well, when in doubt, you can always, at least on the non-super hardcore mode, which is how I play Wordle because I'm dumb, you can always just pull out 5 letters that you haven't used and hope to get lucky. So, here are 5 letters I haven't used. Are any of them in the word we're going for? Yes! All of them are. Okay. Now, the good news is we literally know all 5 of the letters in the word. The bad news is they're F, I, K, R, and E, which What? Frike? No, it can't be Frike. We know it doesn't start with F or end with E, so it can't be... What the fuck is this word? I'm just... That's not... No, it can't be that. K-R-E-I-F? No, that's not a word. So this is an anagram of the word. I am more confused now than I was when I clearly don't know. There's probably only one arrangement of these 5 letters that makes a word. And I clearly don't know what that word is. So if you do, Fishingworth, by all means. It's a yogurt drink. What? Kefir. Oh. Okay. I've heard of that. I couldn't have told you beyond noun what the hell kefir is. Folks at the New York Times, please. It's time to reset the word list. Y'all. Okay. All right, fine. All right. Yep. Okay. So as I said, I've worked 28. Hi, guy who I think is Prince William. I've worked 28 hours this week, and today I have to be in Hartford, Connecticut, and Friday I have to be in Boston. I don't like going to Boston, although going on a Friday is okay. All right, so if this is in fact one of the princes of Great Britain, I think it's William. It might be Harry. It might be an older picture than I think it is, but all right. So you look like you're generally collegey. Maybe you're like on the campus of, I don't know, I would assume you went to Oxford because you're rich and British. It's a good summation, right? If you're rich and British, you can go to Oxford. Sounds conceptually possible. All right, let's see. The University of St. Andrews Symphony Orchestra. Oh, well, okay. Well, that's a thought. Sunday, the 29th of November in Younger Hall. If I was a person who knew academic buildings, that would be more helpful. Wednesday at 1, the Music Center has the Burn Music Party. Instrumental music given by students from the Music Center following a recent visit to the Burn, including vocals, but you said instrumental music. Including Wonky Bullshit, Works by Strauss and Buxton, or Neat. That's on the 17th of November, also in Younger Hall. Great. Mendelssohn will be performing, or someone will be performing Mendelssohn's Elijah. That's great. Was he the one who went to heaven in a cart? Possible. So this is St. Andrews Music Club, and this is the University of St. Andrews Symphony Orchestra. So maybe Will here didn't go to Oxford. Maybe he went to the University of St. Andrews. It's entirely possible. That would be in Golftown, right? It's in Golftown, Ireland. Okay, good. We don't actually know where the University of St. Andrews is, but it's probably near St. Andrews Golf Course, which is in Scotland, now that I think of it, not Ireland. That's a totally different, horrible British accent for me to butcher and not feel bad about, because you can't be racist to white people. That's the rule. Can we get any idea of when this actually was? This might be 2006. I don't know. That would actually, you might be if you're the guy who's bald now, and yeah, you might be the guy who's bald now, and this would be when you were in college. All right. So we are on the campus of the College of St. Andrews, which is presumably in Scotland, in 2006. Oh no, says Fishingworth, I fucked it. Oh, there's probably a person out there that knows where halls are located in which universities, but that is an insane person. I mean, yeah. If anyone watching this on YouTube is an alumnus of the College of St. Andrews or the University of St. Andrews or the whatever of St. Andrews, I don't know, man. Now it occurs to me that Scotland is rather large. Like, there's a lot of it. Like, there's not like a lot of it on like a global sense, but in terms of a find this one particular college sense, we're just gonna zoom into Glasgow and hope to get lucky. Maybe you're somewhere near the capital. Are you somewhere near the capital, University of St. Andrews, or St. Andrews Golf College? It's like the one thing I know about St. Andrew is that he lent his name posthumously to a rather famous golf course, which is rather famous because it's kind of sort of where they claim to have invented golf. Which, you know, I, like all white men, I guess, have been, particularly all vaguely professional white men in their mid to late 30s, have been mildly entertaining the thought of taking up golf. But then I remember that it's expensive and time-consuming and walking intensive, and it's like, might be better things I could do with my time. Like, anything. Oh, God. Yeah, are we going to find this college in... there's the University of Glasgow. That's wrong. We're not at that, but... I have no idea where St. Andrews College is, other than having guessed that it might be in Scotland because that's where I think St. Andrews Golf Course is. And I could even be wrong about that. So, there's St. Ambrose. There's St. Andrews High School. No? Okay. There's St. Margaret's High School. Okay. We are not going to find this fucking college, friends. And therefore, we're going to give up. Now, Fishingworth is absolutely not beholden to honor. Fishingworth can find out, or Fishingworth will find out in a moment after we stick a pin right there. University of Glasgow, actually. The year is 2006. The year is 2004. It's St. Andrews University, and it turns out that it's in northeast Scotland, well north of, say, Edinburgh, nowhere near Glasgow. Okay, fine. But still, you know, even though we were way off in a Scotland term, we were still pretty damn close in a global scale term. So we did pretty well. All right, next. We got a thing here that says add 1957. So presumably we start from 0. Oh, is it funny? All right. Freedom and justice. Okay, fine. Turns out it's in a city called St. Andrews. Hey, how about that? So we got American flags, and we got all sorts of folks on their modern phones, and oh. Okay. So this is presumably sitting Vice President Kamala Harris. Okay. Narrows down the time frame at least. Now, if I was a person who recognized flags, I would recognize this flag and maybe suggest that this is where this is. It's entirely possible. You are also wearing that flag on your shirts, which is nice and lovely. What flag is that? Can I process of eliminate that? No, there are so many flags. It's not Spain, it's not Mexico, it's not Cuba, it's not, I don't know, it could be Cameroon. Probably not the flag of Cameroon, but I don't know enough to say with any certainty that that's not the flag of Cameroon. Fishingworth, do you know what flag that is? Because, this feels like I should know what this is. This was built in 1957. We got the palm tree looking thing. Hello, Hulkamat. Yeah, we did bad, is the thing. We did bad, and also I'm all stuffy. Let's see here. Hall Commander, are you a person who recognizes flags? Because I recognize this flag, but not this flag. Oh, God. Fuck, man. I truly have no idea. And we could sit here forever, or we could try in vain to pull anything out of maybe Africa? Somewhere in Africa? That would be Kenya? I don't know, it might be the flag of Kenya. It's conceivable. Could we be in Kenya? I mean, we could be in Kenya. We could be in Los Angeles. I don't think there is a Los Angeles in Kenya, but boy, yeah, man, feels bad. All right, we're gonna take a shot of the dark here, and where'd Kenya go? Kenya's over this way, isn't it? It is, in fact, here. Hey, that's Nairobi. And, well, if we're in Kenya, we might as well say we're in Nairobi, Kenya, because this is the capital of Kenya. So we are in Nairobi, Kenya, in sometime when you were the Vice President of the United States. We'll say it's 2023. Hulk didn't see the gate. There's a gate. Oh, the gate. Yep. All right, fine. We're in Nairobi, Kenya in 2023. We were, in fact, in Ghana. Okay. We were in Ghana, but it was 2023. So, okay, fine. So, next. This is the Shanghai Fuzhuang Shangguan, which is the worst Chinese you'll ever hear spoken. Ever. Should probably apologize for that, but I won't. Is there anything here that would tell us which of those we're actually in? Is this a train station? Kinda think not. This might be the Fuzhuang Shangguan located within Shanghai. That's conceivable. These guys on bikes are, well, not to be, culturally assumptive or nothing, but you see a bunch of Chinese guys on bikes, you're probably in China. Surely no problematic fallout from that. It's going to go well. It's going to go real well. I'm definitely not in trouble. Why would you say anything? Oh, God. All right. Okay. I don't know, man. We got nothing to go on here. There's no, date written on the edge of the thing. Yeah. This is Shanghai, China in 1948. Yep. Works for me. Shanghai, China, 1948. Shanghai is... I think Shanghai's eastern and Beijing is northeast. That sounds right. Yep, Beijing is northeast, Shanghai's east. Helps now that I'm looking at China and not Mongolia. We'll drop a pin right there. Shanghai, China, 1948. We've nailed it perfectly. It was, in fact, 2 kilometers away. So Shanghai, China... 1976. Okay. All right, fine. September 17th is Constitution Day at the National Archives. Okay. I don't think this is the National Archives. I think this is the Lincoln Memorial. Isn't it? These columns are very Lincoln Memorial-y to me, but you'd think there'd be a guy in a chair in there. Wouldn't there be a guy in a chair in there if this was... It could just be the angle of the photo that you can't actually see the guy in the chair. He's in the back in the dark or something, but huh. All right. But we're definitely in DC. We're probably 70s-ish, maybe 60s from the general dress and vibe and all. Are you conducting a band? You are conducting a band. Okay. All right, so we're on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial in 1969? As possible. Yeah. That's, you're not wrong, Fishingworth. If we look over to here, maybe even the 60s is too. No, it's not the 50s, is it? I don't think it'd be the 50s. Maybe 69 is too late. Maybe we pull back to 64. Yeah, okay. We're on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial in 1964. Sure, fine. That works for me. And we zoom into Washington, D.C., and we pick this one. And so this is the column, this is the steps. So our photographer buddy would be like right there. Yeah, this dude here is thinking, ugh, women. That's exactly right. All right, so we're basically right there, in basically right then. 1974. Also, apparently, that was the National Archives, which it does say the National Archives. Okay, fine, that's fair. It does. I just thought it was like an advertisement. You slap well, okay, fine. I understand. So this is the arrival of the Americans at Echternach on the 24th of November. Interesting. So these are French folk. Okay. So this is some Americans arriving in France on the 24th of November something. A hearty welcome to the liberators of nations. Okay. All right. So this is like 1944 or 5. We've achieved, it's everybody celebrating victory over Germany, World War II. Hooray. That doesn't actually make sense. This is too old for that. This is a different time. This is possibly even WW1, the small one. Okay. Yeah, Time Guesser is a good and fun game, unless you're bad and stupid, in which case, well, you're the _ Goog. But, let's see here. Can we figure out? Yeah, this feels more World War I-y than World War II-y. So, we don't know about World War III-y and a 4-y and a 5-y. Okay. So we're in France. We're presumably in something that ends in Bourg, but I don't know, man. There's lots of Bourgs in France. Possibly. No, Fishingworth. No, this is not World War Hock-Tua. No, absolutely not. God damn. So bad. It's very funny. It's astoundingly funny. All right. Hey, look, a Bourg in France. We found a Bourg in France. All right, we're in Strasbourg, France. Ow, my leg itches. It is 19-1. It's probably wrong. Feels incorrect, and yet here we stand. It was 1918, and it was actually in Echternach. Oh, that's a town, and that says Luxembourg. This makes sense. I understand. 13 days, 24th of November, after the armistice. Okay, fine. All right, fine. 36,185. It sure is a score. For today's Immaculate Grid, we need Mariners, Cubs, and White Sox, and dudes what hit 300 dingers, and dudes what had a 6-win season, and dudes what is in the Hall of Fame. A Chicago Cubs player who amassed 6 or more wins above replacement in a season is Chris Bryant. A Seattle Mariner who had himself a 6-y Wary Christmas, is Ken Griffey's kid. And a dude who had a 6-win season who's in the Hall of Fame is Bang Pedro Martinez. A dude who played for the Chicago Cubs and Chicago White Sox is Samuel Sosa. Is a fair and accurate statement. A dude who played for the White Sox and Mariners is... That's a good question, actually. Roberto Hernandez? I think Roberto Hernandez was a Mariner. I'm not 100% sure of that, though. Aaron Seeley. No, Aaron Seeley played for the Red Sox and the Mariners, not the White Sox and the Mariners. Huh. Well, a dude who had 300 home runs in his career... Hold on, we must first ban a spam bot, because after all, we are streaming on twitch.tv, and therefore it is mandatory that we be inundated with spam bots. Dude who hit 300 homers in his career and played for the Seattle Mariners, ow, my nose, is Adrian Beltre. Dude who hit 300 homers in his career and is in the Hall of Fame is Joe DiMaggio. One assumes correctly. Dude who hit 300 homers in his career and played for the Cubs is Moises Alou. It seems reasonable. He would have gotten to 300 dingers. That's like a lot of dingers, but it's not a fuckload's worth of dingers. Yeah, Moises Alou. 300 homers, played for the Cubs. Cool. Now then, we must name some Chicago White Sox. A dude who played for the White Sox and is in the Hall of Fame is... I think Robin Ventura is in the Hall of Fame. I'm not 100% sure of that, though. So, should probably be a little more certain of stuff. Ow. And again, I say ow. So much ow. A great deal of ow. A dude who played for the White Sox and is in the Hall of Fame is one James Howard Thumb. And now... Oh, God. A dude who played for the White Sox... Was Jamie Moyer? Did Jamie Moyer play for the White Sox? I feel like Jamie Moyer played for the White Sox. But I could be wrong about that. I know Jamie Moyer played for the Padres. Longtime San Diego Padres legend, Jamie Moyer. And if you don't believe me, just hit bang Jamie in chat. Oh, right. Anyway. Shit, son. Billy Hamilton played for the White Sox. Never the Mariners. Mike Cameron. Yeah, Mike Cameron played for the White Sox. Didn't he? I'm reasonably sure Mike Cameron played for the... Shit, now I'm talking myself out of Mike Cameron. Mike Cameron played for the Mets. And the Rockies. And the Mariners. Fuck. I'm gonna be mad at myself. I think he played for the White Sox. Mike Cameron played for the White Sox. This is an immaculate grid. Thank God. All right, folks. In case you haven't figured it out by the fact that it is Wednesday and this is the first goddamn time we're streaming this week, shit's weird and bad. How weird and bad, you ask? Well, here, let me just yoink down our stream schedule box. There. That's our remaining stream schedule for the week. The plan, the hope, is that we'll be back tomorrow morning for Good Morning Mini Motorways and tomorrow evening for Dragon Age: the Veilguard. That's the plan. Is that what's actually going to happen? I don't fucking know, but we'll see. Thank you as always for being here. I don't have anything else. Bye.